Hello, friends, and welcome to the 2026 Masters Big Drive Energy Podcast. We're going to dive into everything: pairings, weather, outfits, champions dinner, dream/nightmare blunt rotations. We've got it all. And the Masters is back. Can't be more excited for this week of golf. The best week on the PGA Tour / professional golf that there is. We're going to preview it all for you coming up next. All right, let's tee it up. It's the Masters. We've got Jim Nance. We've got all the excitement coming down at Augusta. It's a Wednesday hump day episode. And did Aaron Rai just win the par 3? I have not been dialed in.
He is leading by one as of right now. He's 6 under. So one of our Calcutta players is officially cooked. And if Aaron Rai is the first ever, if he's the first ever par 3 and Masters winner, I will get down on my knees and bow to one Ryan Koenigsberg.
Yeah. Do we want to hop into that first? Like, where do we want to go here? Because I fucking put this smashing show together. I've got so many graphics ready to just fucking launch. But do we want to start with our Calcutta and our auction that we did on Monday night and kind of talk about the Denver Syndicate and what we're doing and how that's going?
Yeah. Well, first I want to talk about my revelation with my new driver that is now ordered. No free shout outs to TaylorMade, but holy shit, this new driver.
I'm going to let you. No, I'm going to let you go for a second. Just a second. I'm going to switch Wi-Fi's here. So I'm going to take myself off the video real quick.
I'm going to have to solo it.
You're going to anyways about this driver. So get into it and I'll be right back.
I'm going to go full Diana Rossini and just absolutely get after it. But this new TaylorMade driver, I hit it today for the first time. It was absolutely unbelievable. I think it was more of a weight thing that everybody cares about, the weight of my driver. But I was swinging I still am swinging a Callaway Triple Diamond Rogue low spin with a 60-gram extra stiff shaft. And the swing weight was super light on it. And so now this new TaylorMade that I hit today, I got the red Reacts shaft in there. Oh, Spencer's already back. Love to see it. So I got this. Have you seen how TaylorMade is doing these new fittings with their driver? The new shaft technology.
I have not. No, I haven't been as up on the shaft game lately, to be honest with you.
Well, I really wasn't super privy on it either, but I got the general gist of it. So basically they have 3 different shafts. They've got a red, a blue, and a black. The red is got a little bit more like kick at the bottom of it. The blue is kind of in between, and then the black has got like a little bit of a stiffer. Basically, the red is meant for people that have a little bit more hand action at the bottom, and then black is meant for like longer, more flowy, smooth swings. I am not the long, flowy, smooth swing. I am the very like crack the whip type of person at impact. Like I got a lot of shit going on in there. So I hit the red 60-gram X with a 9-degree head in it, the LS head. And I sent you the screenshots, but I was getting it out there, rolling it over 280. And for Migsy at sea level, that's a fucking bomb. That
is fucking Nuke City.
Yeah. In Colorado, I might hit it as far as you at this point.
Oh, whoa. Let's fucking
and just way straighter. So I don't know.
Remind me, because I kind of asked you what driver did you have and how long have you had that? Because now that we don't live together or live near each other anymore, we play golf together a ton in Chicago and Denver and New Jersey, wherever. but I have no clue what the fuck's going on with your bag. Like, I don't even know what irons you have right now. I'm pretty sure you have PXGs, but I'm not totally confident in that.
I do have PXGs right now. If you want me to, well, I don't need to go through the full bag. I have the PXG irons and wedges. I'm thinking about going to Adele wedges.
You have a new putter now, right?
I am rocking the Adele putter, and I feel like I'm rolling it really well with that thing. But I'm rocking the Callaway driver from, I think, 5 years ago. And I think it's just time. I'm definitely not a guy that loves to change equipment. We've talked about it previously. Like when I was younger, I loved getting new shit every year. Now once I find something I like, I stick with it. But I just really felt like it was time. And it was honestly because I was in the simulator with Steven, a kid that he was the assistant pro at the
Steven.
Rose. Yeah, full Steven.
My friend
But I was
Steven.
him and I played in like just a fuck around league at the place that we teach at, Golf Republic. But just the speed, it felt like I should be swinging it faster. I'm just like, it
felt
sounds
like it was going to be different.
I thought it was going to be louder or not loud. I thought it was going to be silent and made a sound. But no, I just feel like I have more in the tank than this Callaway driver was like giving me. I'm like, why am I really that big of a bitch? And, there's a very real possibility of that as well. But then I started swinging this TaylorMade driver today, and I was getting swings up around 107, 108. Now, for a lot of people, that's not fast. For me, that's fast. And now maybe I can start thinking about 110. I can start really trying to fucking get after it.
I can start dreaming about 110.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Earlier this year, I was dreaming about 105, and now I can cruise at like 106, 106. So it's definitely
The
like
Cadillac is getting up there. The RPMs are fucking revving.
I'm like a Buick LeSabre, and I'm fucking cruising. I'm one of those couches that's out on the road. Yeah. Oh, I'm a big
built
old
for
wide
comfort, but also getting it out there now. Starting to press the gas down.
I'm like those old Cadillacs that, like you said, they're built for comfort, but then they got the V8 in them. Like, I think I'm starting to get a little fucking speed. So I just wanted to tell everybody about my new driver. Unfortunately, it's not going to be in for about a month because I guess the shaft was on back order.
That's the worst feeling, dude. No,
yeah,
now
I know.
You're just gonna fucking hate swing your current driver every time you hit it
I
bad.
am.
You're gonna be like ready to snap it in half.
I am. It's like, it's like when you asked a girl in middle school to a dance, but you really didn't want to go with her. She was just kind of your last option. And then you're like at the dance and you're seeing the girl you wanted to be there with. I don't know if that analogy hits too close to home. I kind of did that when I was in middle school, but I am not looking forward to hitting my old driver now. I don't even want to play golf until I have this new driver.
Isn't it funny how we fully transitioned to, you still work at a golf course, kind of pseudo, you give a lot of lessons, but the being out of the golf industry where it's your everyday 9 to 5er, you get these exciting new looks on life and clubs and shit. It's kind of like falling back in love with golf again, like we did when we were 13 and 14. Where
for sure.
You're getting amped up. I get amped up to play a niner. I get like hyped, like when you're not in it, it's the greatest thing ever.
100%, dude. Like going to play a new golf course, I get excited, like getting a little money game going with the boys. I'm excited for that. Thinking about your member guests, thinking about playing in some shit. I just cannot wait to get it out there fucking 270, 280. Like that is going to be a game changer for me at sea level. So I had to go on that quick tangent, but let's get into the Calcutta because I think that's pretty interesting. And honestly, this is our third year doing this Calcutta, but this is the only Calcutta I've ever been a part of. I guess people do this with the NCAA tournament. They do it with, and we talked about that on the last pod, but I had never been a part of any of this before this Masters Calcutta. And now I think this is like the best thing in the world. I want to do it with everything. Because
I just want Calcutta for what time I'm going to wake up in the morning with my boys.
Who's got under 9 a.m. because they're fucked. But no, this Calcutta we do. So do you know how many groups there in it total or how many people?
I think it was
don't necessarily
8.
know people.
I think it's eight groups of people.
Okay. So there's, who knows about how many people are in each group, but a lot of these groups we spend like close to $4,000, I want to say. And some of these groups are spending $10,000+. So I would like to think there's multiple people in those groups, unless these guys are just absolutely loaded. But it's just so electric because it's basically a live bidding scenario for every. So you get the field. I was going to say every player in the field, but there's about 40 individual guys that you can buy, and then there's the field after that.
Yeah, it's kind of a bizarre. I don't know how it works out in terms of who's in the field itself and then who's in the field that you bet on and can auction individually. So our 11 guys that we ended up getting, so we're bottom of the barrel scrapers. We kind of get the guys that are on the fringe going for a couple hundred beans here and there. We're not getting Scottie Scheffler at 4,300.
We're quantity over quality. We're all about quantity. It's a numbers game.
We were in on the field of like 40 plus players pretty heavy, which would have kind of bankrolled us, or it would have bankrupted us, if you will. It would have kind of ended our auction right there with the field. But we ended up with Minwoo Lee, Adam Scott, Sam Burns, Mav McNeely, Ben Griffin, Corey Connors, Nick Taylor, Max Grieserman, Aaron Rye, Dustin Johnson, hilarious, and Nico Echeverria.
We got Dustin Johnson?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
if your Wi-Fi wasn't so shitty on the FaceTime, you would have got some more info.
I heard, and that's also bullshit, and I have great Wi-Fi. I don't know exactly how that happened, but I heard everything that was discussed. So now I've got Dustin Johnson in the stable as well. I'm not quite sure how much money I'm exactly in for on this, if we went over our allotted budget or if I'm in for a flat dollar amount, but I guess we'll find out. Hopefully it's just subtracted from the money that's coming back to us after this week. So give me like two guys in our stable. And I kind of just like saying that we have a stable of players. Like, I kind of want to own a racehorse one day, just to be like, yeah, my stable of racehorses. That just is like the coolest thing you can say. But who do you really feel good about out of the guys that we got?
Well, I'm going to be honest here, and my opinion doesn't matter for fuck all. So the good news is about this Calcutta is you get paid for 10th, right? That's the nice part. We don't need. Yes, it would be great to have one of these guys win the tournament. I fully believe. I think there's. So do you have our list in front of you so we can kind of play a game here?
Yeah.
Okay, I think there's 1.5 guys that could actually, of our list, that could win this tournament. There's one for sure that could win this tournament this year. I confidently feel that. Who is that
guy? Probably I would say Minwoo Lee.
No, it's Adam Scott. So Adam Scott, I firmly believe, could win this golf tournament, even though he's a little bit older. We've seen some older Masters winners. He's played well here. He's been around this place a million times. He is my one confirmed that like I said, this opinion does not matter for fuck all. And I hope we have all of the top 10 guys and the winner, and we just clear this fucking board and go retire after this. But I truly believe Adam Scott's got the best shot to win the golf tournament. And then there's another guy with, I believe, half a shot to win it. But
Corey Connors.
Yep, he's my halfer. I don't think he can win this event, but I very firmly believe he could top 3.
Yeah. Oh, I think Corey Connors is very much in play this week, and I feel like we got him for a relatively good dollar amount. I know that our good friend Hank Chisholm put together an algorithm that basically put dollar amounts on each of these guys. I kind of stood on the table a little bit for or is that what stood on business? Pounded the table for Corey Connors.
Still on the table could work, I guess.
I mean, I could use all the inches I could get standing on the table. So Corey Connors, I love. Nico Echeverria, I hated, but that probably is good.
He was also 60 beans or something.
If you've been following our gambling picks, I've been colder than an ice chest. So another guy that could easily top 10 is Max Grieserman. The guy has got, it just feels like he's one bad round a week away from being really, really good. He always throws out that random fucking 78 in the middle of his week. I don't know if we can withstand that, but Minwoo Lee as well, I do not hate. We also have Maverick McNeely, which I've been
seeing him in a lot of these like sleeper picks for the week. People that are, Twitter, if you are golf Twitter, and the algorithm that we're in on the Big Drive Energy Twitter account. Follow us on X, Big Drive Energy. But the algorithm that we're in and all of the people that tweet out these players can win the Masters, these are really good sleeper picks. McNeely is one of the guys that I've been seeing a lot of, which gets me hyped. But I feel like our team is, and the Masters is kind of a volatile event anyways. If you are putting it bad, you can immediately just completely demolish your chances of winning or even making the cut. But I feel like we have a bunch of guys that have won mid-level tour events, so they know they can win on the PGA Tour, but they've never really won an event as big and as, you know, the biggest event, if you will, in golf, in the Masters. But that's where I feel really confident in one of these guys sneaking into the top 5, and not necessarily that one of these guys is going to finish with the green jacket on Sunday afternoon. And the volatility of their play as well. Minwoo Lee is a complete wild card. Sam Burns, a complete wild card. Mav McNeely, a complete wild card. Nick Taylor could get the putter rolling, but he's kind of a wild card hitting the ball. Corey Connors is very solid with the irons, but you never know what he's going to be on the putting green. Dustin Johnson may be the biggest wild card in the history of golf. You know, so it's like a lot of wild cards, but maybe one of them comes up winning.
Yeah, I mean, it is just so much fun having this many guys to root for. And I still have yet to actually, besides our betting card, I have not really locked in. I have not really locked in. I know I'm going to bet on about 7 to 8 guys to win it. So I think let's go in this direction. Or do you want to go weather? Do we want to go? Let's
you lead, and I'll follow with my fucking graphic package that I put together.
Okay.
Here.
Okay, so let's go weather first. I can't do a southern accent. Hey everybody. Now I can't even do it, dude. I can't take myself seriously. I can't fucking do it. Oh, so Spencer's got it in the graphic. Love to see it. So we have on Thursday, first day tomorrow, we've got high of 74, partly cloudy, east-northeast winds, which is interesting because from what I've heard, the wind is generally more out of the southeast. So I think that could flip the wind direction from its normal direction that it is on 11 and 12, which are two of the harder holes on the golf course back there in Amen Corner. Friday, 79, mostly sunny out of the east, 6 to 12 miles an hour. Saturday, 83, mostly sunny, 4 to 8 miles an hour out of the northeast to the east. And then Sunday, 85 east-northeast winds, 5 to 10 miles an hour, 5% chance of precipitation every single day. So it looks like an absolutely perfect weather day for our weather week for the Masters this year. It looks phenomenal. I don't think there's going to be any trees coming down. It doesn't look like any weather delays. Weather delays at the Masters are just such a buzzkill. Like, then you have to watch the previous one. You just don't.
Wasn't it? It was when we had the watch party at the bar, right? That one where it was a Saturday weather delay. And not only was it a weather delay, they straight up didn't play after like the first 2 hours on Saturday. And is that the same tournament where the trees fell down and somebody got hit with a tree? Remember that? Is that the same one or is that different?
I think that was different because I think that was just wind. I don't think that was from rain, but it could have. No, I take that back. I think it was that day because there was many less people, much less people on the golf course.
Many less people out there.
None mothers, I guess. There's a lot less people out there because I remember thinking like, oh, if there was a full gallery out there, somebody easily could have gotten taken out by this tree. So it could have been the same year. But needless to say, I don't think we're dealing with any sort of weather issues this week, which will be great. Just straight up viewing. I have to admit, I made my first fatal flaw was I scheduled myself a bunch of lessons for tomorrow afternoon into the evening.
Oh man, that's rough.
This should be a week that you just block off your calendar. Like that's on me. I am going to play like a quick 9 holes Friday afternoon with Jeff, my boy Jeff Collins, and then at his place in Newton. And then we're going to go somewhere and watch them kind of finish up the second round, grab a few appies and maybe a brewski. But other than that, all weekend, I'm going to be just eyes glued to the television.
Yeah, we do these company get-togethers that are super low-key, and Sunday everyone's going to Cheeseman Park and just going to hang out. And I really I like getting together with the people I work with, mostly a lot of fun, and just hanging out at a park on a Sunday when it's 75 degrees is elite. And then I realized what was actually happening on Sunday, the fact that I'm going to wear a hole into my fucking couch on Sunday. Can I tell you though, I am, and this is just based on how the PGA Tour has been this year, which has had a lot of comeback wins. I'm really worried that we're going to have like a 5-shot win, and I don't want that at all.
Yeah, I mean, somebody might be leading by 5 going into Sunday, but unless it's like 1 or 2 dudes, I think there's a select few guys that if they're leading by that many are just going to run away and hide. But what I would love to see is a no-name, a la Jacob Bridgman at Riviera, come out with like a 4 or 5 shot lead going into Sunday, and just have all these big dogs like John Rahm, Rory McIlroy, Ludwig Aubert. Well, Ludwig's kind of a miniature dog at this point. He's not really a big dog. But just all Bryson DeChambeau, all these guys breathing down his neck, and just have some magnificent comeback story. Similar to, I think it was Danny Willett when Jordan Spieth famously pissed down his leg.
Yeah. The best part about Masters Week leading up to it is all the old shit that gets recycled. And I saw a tweet this week that was like, Jordan Spieth did not win this Masters. And I think he was like 7 under par through 12 or 9 or something like that on Sunday. And Danny Willett was 2 under. Yeah. And he ended up losing. It's hilarious to recount all those moments and like where we were when Tiger Woods won his last one in 2019. I remember at Maggiano's or some shit for brunch. Like it's crazy the things you remember and what this tournament brings out. It's like the Super Bowls every year, but this is like truly the Super Bowl of golf, in my opinion. And the best part about golf tournaments, just like we always talk about, yes, there's a lot of other sporting events and Nuggets, Avs, playoff teams, and they play 6-7 games, 6-7. But the golf in general, watching it, and especially at a high level tournament like this, where there's so much coverage, the Masters app, you can watch every single shot. We're cheering for our guys. You've got bets rolling out there, and it's 4 days of 5 to 6 to 7 hours of coverage each day, and even longer if you're following on the app. You know, you could truly sit down. You could truly pull a full work week sitting on your couch from tomorrow morning through Sunday afternoon, just watching the Masters and the greatest show on turf. You know, I'm going to steal the term from the Waste Management Open, but this truly is the greatest, not only show from the players, and all the best players are there and everybody wants to win this event more than anything, but the scenery, the golf course, it's spring, and we haven't had a winter here in Denver. So I don't feel like I'm needing this spring as much as I normally do in the past, but truly it is the greatest golf tournament on the planet.
Well, I can tell you here in New Jersey, it's starting to warm up a little bit. The trees are all budding out. It feels like spring, and the Masters, just like you said, is the official start of spring. It feels like we're back. I just could not be more excited to get into this week. So let's start. You want to go Champions Dinner? Do we want to do our FMK, or do we want to do our Nightmare and Dream Blunt rotations with the Masters champions?
Let's start with the fuck, marry, kill, and that is, I'm assuming you're talking about the dinner, correct?
I was not. I was talking about like the items on the menu that they sell at Augusta.
Oh, not on the Champions Dinner menu. Okay, well, this graphics package isn't as elite as I thought it was. All right, I'm going to pull it up. You've probably already got it. I will pull up so what they sell is what you're saying.
Correct.
See, if you would have hopped on the pod a couple minutes before, like, and been a normal podcaster and try to prepare for your show, we could have discussed this, but now we're discussing it live on air. So everyone can
I've got it
Mitchell
right here. Do you want me to send it to you?
Yeah, send it to me. So we're looking at the same thing here.
Okay. You should be receiving it here any minute.
Got him. Okay.
Got him.
So this is a picture of all the selections that the bystanders / attendees / people attending the Masters can purchase. obviously you've seen, if you're not living under a rock, you've seen the pricing of all of these menu items, which is just exquisite. The fact that everything's $1.50 or $3. I think the most expensive thing is a domestic beer, import beer, white wine, or crow's nest drink at 6 beans. But all right, are we going FMK for the entire menu, or are we going FMK for each little category of the menu?
No, I think we just go one item each, or just one item from the entire menu. We're not going all categories.
Okay.
And before we do this, I just want to clarify. I think that in terms of fucking a item, an inanimate object,
Fucking a man.
fucking a man, I think that it's something that you would just want to eat once. That just sounds lovely.
Okay.
I think Mary is one that you could eat every day.
Okay, we're on the
And
same
then
page there.
kill is something that you just never want to be within 10 feet of.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
All right, lead us off. Now
okay.
driving, Mitchell Smith from Elizabeth, Colorado.
So I am fucking egg salad. I'm sorry. I am absolutely boning out a Georgia peach ice cream sandwich. I think
Okay.
that's not something that I can do all the time. I would have medical issues. I don't want to go down that road, but I just want to try those sweet Georgia peaches one time. Let the juice roll down my chin. So that is the item I am starting with. I am effing.
Okay, I am effing a pimento cheese sandwich. And that's just because I don't eat cheese, don't do dairy very well. So it would be a one-time thing, really fun. I'd really enjoy the taste of it. I'd really feel like I was at the Masters, or I was getting the full experience, but I wouldn't want to go back to that well. I remember when I got the taste of the Masters 3 or 4 years ago and brought it to work and was doling it out and also eating it. I just remember the absolute travesty in my stomach going down for the next 12 hours. So pimento cheese sandwich is getting effed, but one and done, and then I'm out.
Okay, that's valid. I vehemently disagree, but teach their own. I am marrying egg salad. I could eat egg salad every day for the rest of my life and have no complaints. There's something about an egg salad sandwich that just hits different. It's like childhood all over again. So I am marrying egg salad sandwiches. For $1.50, I would legit get 10 of them. I could eat 10. I would have no problem putting away 10 egg salad sandwiches.
You could do the 999 challenge at Augusta. Nine egg salad sandwiches.
Walk 9 holes, eat 9 egg salads, and drink 9 beers.
Maybe we should do that for content.
Well, you literally can't bring no,
I'm not saying at the Masters. I'm saying at Overland Park Golf Club in Denver, Colorado.
Oh, okay. I mean, 9. Yeah. If I had to walk 9 holes, I would be fucking cooked and eat 9.
I think I'd do better walking the niner than trying to ride the niner, because then you're going faster in between shots. You're trying to have to scarf the sandwich down. I think you'd be better off if you were walking.
But then drinking beer and walking 9 beers and 9 holes while you're walking, I would definitely vomit. And I can put away a fair amount of liquid and food, but I think that would be too much for me to handle. Okay, who are you marrying on this menu?
I'm marrying the chicken salad on honey wheat. Chicken salad goes so gas. And honey,
very granola dad of you.
Yeah, well, honey wheat is a buzzword for me for sure. That's a great.
I was just gonna say, if it was on white bread, you'd be like, I'm out.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to give an honorable mention for a Mary, like a side chick, and I don't think I can have one that would.
A side chick would probably be the barbecue, probably the barbecue sandwich for me. I do love a good barbecue. I could dabble in that.
Yeah. All right. And then what are we killing? What are we not touching?
I've got 2 kills. If I've got 2 in the chamber, I'll kill 2 things. I personally just don't think chicken should be eaten for breakfast. I think.
Oh, that's dude. Chicken minis from Chick-fil-A.
No, dude. Chicken is not
Chicken is not a breakfast food until you put it on a biscuit, and then it turns into a breakfast food.
You can't have a fucking soda before noon, but you'll eat chicken at 9 a.m. you got messed up priorities there, Pally. So yeah, chicken biscuit, I'm good on that. And I honestly think pimento cheese is one of the grossest things I've ever eaten. As a connoisseur of cheese, I like all types of cheeses. And maybe it was because the first time I tried it was at Bojangles. After a night of hellacious drinking in Charleston, South Carolina. And I think I got a chicken biscuit with pimento cheese on it. And I've never been more out. And I think I honestly remember sitting in the car wanting to vomit out the window. It's way too creamy and like you're just eating mouthfuls of cheese. And it's very similar, in my opinion, to like how they do cream cheese on bagels here in New Jersey. I don't need an inch of that shit. I don't need an inch tall stack of cheese. Give me like a nice little layer. I could deal with that. But I don't need this much fucking cheese on my pimento sandwich. Thank you, Jeff, for agreeing no chicken for breakfast. And I have to give the caveat, I got food poisoning from Chick-fil-A breakfast once. I can never look at
that
it
makes
the
so
same.
much sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense now. That would, man, did they told you my pleasure and then fucking gave you food poisoning? How disrespectful.
Yeah, not and guess what? I called him and let him know that they gave me food poisoning. Like,
Did
do you think
you?
that's do you think that's a Karen move? I really don't, because you never know. Maybe they've got chicken that's been sitting out for a day and they had no idea. And
What did they say? Did they give you like $100 gift card or something?
no, they gave me a certificate for a free cookie. I was like, that's the
I was gonna say free
why
lemonade, but that's
why
even
don't you
better.
tell me to go fuck myself instead? Like that's the most disrespectful thing you could do. So yeah, that is partially why I'm out on chicken for breakfast, but overall it's not a breakfast food to me. Give me a little bacon, egg, and cheese. That is the fastball on the black. You can't go wrong with that.
That's fair. That's fair. My kill, I would probably go with the, so my son and I, every Nuggets game we go to, he's obsessed with popcorn, which he shouldn't be probably having. They say kids aren't supposed to have popcorn until they're 4 years old because it's such a choking hazard. But the popcorn at Ball Arena is so fucking buttery and salty. In that same light, I do not like caramel popcorn. I'm not a fan of fucking with my popcorn. Give me the straight butter and the salt, and that's it. So I'd probably kill the Georgia pecan caramel popcorn and maybe the Southern cheese straws. Maybe those as well. I just doesn't sound just doesn't sound like my type of.
I'm picturing like
go-to.
hollowed out like cheese sticks, like string cheese hollowed out and then fried. I don't know if my body could handle that. But it's very unlike you to let your son override your decision and just give in to what he wants, because that's you generally stand on business with him.
Well, there's rules and
Psych.
there's places for rules when you stand on business. I'm looking at the Masters Southern cheese straws are, they're just kind of like they're just kind of like chips. Like they're not.
Huh.
But
almost like a Cheez-It. I might be in on that. I can get down on a Cheez-It. Also, I bet that their fresh brewed coffee, that their Augusta version of coffee is just some Folgers dog shit.
No, they probably.
I think plain black.
Anything second rate.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not a fan of black coffee in general. So that's maybe my issue there.
Well, and I will say coffee to me is one of those things where Kylie, I shout out Big Cat and Stella Blue. I get Stella Blue delivered and Kylie's not the biggest fan of it. And then she likes a certain kind of K-Cup. And I've never been able to tell the difference. Like you could give me 5 different, if there's a flavored coffee, maybe I can slightly tell a difference. But if you give me a brown roast or dark roast or whatever from 10 different companies and brewed them all at the same time, and I drank them all one by one, I wouldn't be able to tell you which one's better or worse. To me, all coffee, especially black, tastes the same. You can if you get into the latte game or whatever, there's definitely some difference in those tastes, and that can significantly enhance your coffee. But black coffee is black coffee to me. I don't care if it's your fucking pot that was brewed the night before at your church post sermon, and you're drinking that nasty shit, or Folgers or Starbucks K-cups, whatever it ends up being. To me, if it's black coffee, it's black coffee. So I'm not quite prone to caring about it. Black coffee is fine. It's not my
Yeah,
favorite,
black
but
coffee
I
is
don't
just a
hate.
vehicle for caffeine, and I don't really need that when I have nicotine in my mouth 24/7. But okay, I feel like we did pretty well there. Do we want to move on to this champions dinner picture? Because I think this will be another good segment here. We are going to do dream and nightmare blunt rotations. For those of you just listening on the audio, we've got the picture of the Masters Champions dinner players all lined up right here. So, Spencer, I'm going to let you lead the way here. I don't know how much you know about all these guys.
Well, so I Googled, shout out to Yahoo Sports for giving me a list of the 2026 Masters Champion Dinner attendees. A lot of these guys I don't really know, but let's start out with my dream blunt rotation. And I think number one by far, I'd have to go Dustin Johnson. Dustin Johnson would be in my dream blunt rotation, hands down. The guy would just be so much fun to hang out with and get high with.
Yeah, he'd be like, he's like, do you ever wonder why the sky is blue? And just say some stupid shit like that. Just the most. I've heard from people that he's obviously not the brightest bulb in the box, even less than is known to the common man. So yes, that is one that would be amazing.
And then number two, I think I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I kind of like this guy. I think he'd be funny. Patrick Reed, he'd be in my dream rotation as well. And so two live guys.
He'd be the guy that'd be like, everyone's out to get me. Like, I didn't steal anything in that locker room. Why does everybody hate me? He just like the down on his luck, like downtrodden. I'm just a major winner that everybody hates.
And then finishing up my rotation, number three, it would be Fred Couples. Freddie Couples.
Ooh, that's a really good one.
Yeah, watching him swing it live 10 years ago now at Colorado Golf Club in the US Senior Open. Well, it was one of our aunts who kind of helped us get into golf a little bit, and she played a ton of golf in her life. Still have a couple of rolled Scottie Camerons. She was a Fred Couples fiend and kind of led us down that path of I want my swing to look like Fred Couples. I know it doesn't, but if I could take anybody's golf swing in the world, I think Fred Couples he'd be top three, not three.
Top three, not three. His swing is just a modern wonder of the world to me. It doesn't make any sense. He aims so far left, but I could absolutely see him like playing golf with a J hanging out of his mouth. So that is a very good one. Will you flash that picture back up on the screen for me?
Got you.
Because I obviously would like to kind of go in a different direction than you. If you could go ahead and do this for me. For
yeah, do you know I'm sending you the list of players that might help you too.
Oh yeah, I've already got a pretty good idea. I might pop off a little bit here. So starting off my dream rotation, I think I would go Ben Crenshaw. I think Ben Crenshaw.
Just try to glean some of the putting history from him.
The putting, and he's a well-known golf course designer, and I'd love to hear him get into like grass and like ergonomics and moving earth, and like that would be a very fun conversation to have while you're high. Don't you think so? That kind of sounds like he's like, yeah, I'd love to hear how he designed Colorado Golf Club and all these, like his favorite course he's designed. So that would be a very fun high conversation.
Yeah, who is the guy, the walrus looking dude?
Oh, Duffy. No, I was not Fuzz, the walrus. Well, he's not actually the walrus. That's a dad and a son. God damn it. What's his name? I was going to say that just because he looks so perfect. Like
he looks like he'd be fun to hang out with for sure.
Yeah. He looks like a party. Let's leave that graphic up there a little longer, Big Chief. I'm still making decisions here.
This is your fucking segment. You didn't prepare. Shocker.
No, I didn't write it down, but I definitely had a couple guys in mind. I think VJ Singh, I would love to smoke a J with. This little, like, it looks like he has soap on the end of his chin. It's a little like goatee. Doesn't it kind of look like he's got little soap bubbles on the end of his chin? Like, yeah, when you give yourself a beard as a kid doing dishes. Yeah, it's very, very odd. But VJ, I feel like he's Fijian. I feel like he'd be a very relaxed, chill vibe. And then, I think I'm gonna have to go Bubba Watson because he owns a candy store. Like, we could all just get super baked out of our mind and then just go raid his candy store for all the goodies that we would want. So I think that's a little bit like, talk about a random combo of Ben Crenshaw, VJ Singh, Bubba Watson, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, I mean, you can go any which way you'd want in this. I think it's funny because when you talk about dream or nightmare blunt rotation, if we're taking this super literally, that I think a lot of these guys may be boring sober, but if you get them high, they may be the opposite. Like, it could go from super dry to super funny. I'll go with my nightmare rotation, and that's just me taking it into account that I think it'd just be awkward, right? Or I don't know if they'd be hilarious. I think Hideki Matsuyama, I don't know about, talking to him for a couple hours or hanging out with
Depending on
him.
how good the weed is, you might start speaking his language by the end of it. You might hear him very clearly. You'd be like, "Holy shit, I get this guy now."
And then Danny Willett just doesn't seem all that fun to me. And
Yeah.
I don't want to give, is it Raymond Floyd, the guy that looks like a walrus? Is that who that is? I'm just looking
No,
up
that's
names.
not.
Okay. And then I'd say, if you're looking at this list of the confirmed attendees, I don't want to like shit on the old guys. I want to pick somebody younger that I don't think I would love to like Scottie Scheffler might be electric. Maybe we'll go Charles Schwartzel. We'll just go with the lame guys as the nightmare. Like, but Scottie Scheffler would be so hilarious if he got high and the stuff that would come out of him. Oh, Craig Stadler.
Craig Stadler, there we go,
Yeah.
because his son's name is
And
Kevin.
Jeff's dream would be Stadler, Angel Cabrera, and Bubba Watson.
Yeah, Angel
Like,
was
there's way
definitely
more guys I would do this with than wouldn't. And any of the guys I wouldn't, it seems like it's just because they're really old and I don't know them. If
but
maybe
those might be
smoking
the
weed with
best
them
guys. You could hear the stories about them 50 years ago out on tour.
right. Yeah. Now that would be pretty electric.
Yeah, like getting high with Freddie Couples and then hearing about all the chicks he's bagged would be an all-timer. I bet he's got a lineup that rivals Derek Jeter's. No question. Let's see
Or
that graphic
Tigers.
one more time, please. Oh yeah, Tiger. Did you see that thing on Twitter, by the way, where somebody was like, Tiger is reportedly still a wanted man in Palm Beach, and someone goes, shocking report, a super wealthy billionaire is still a very wanted commodity amongst women. It's like, holy shit, how surprising. Okay, my nightmare blunt rotation. I think Nick Faldo would just probably kind of suck.
I actually just looked at him on this graphic and thought that.
I feel like he'd be really preachy. Like we're having some sort of intervention. I'm not really about that. I think Mike Weir just looks like no fun to hang out with. Just looks about as boring gets. And then Bernhard Langer, maybe, just because actually Langer, he's German. He'd kind of be electric. He's probably got that really dry sense of humor, but I would just want to drag him for anchoring his putter the whole time. But my last actual selection is Jordan Spieth. I think he is no fun, which I could be totally wrong. I heard he had a pretty good time at his bachelor party, but I just don't think he would be very good high. I feel like he would start panicking and he would call Michael Greller to come help him fucking go to the bathroom or something.
To me, Jordan Spieth would just be fun because he's our age. Like, if you're looking at it very legitimately, he's a guy that's our age. And nightmare Zach Johnson, just Jordan Spieth, and Sergio Garcia from Jeff. Zach Johnson's an Iowa boy, so he almost leaned into my
He would
dream
suck though.
rotation.
No, I think he kind of sucks. And Sergio would be a real prick as well. But I feel like Sergio is one of those dudes, the more you get to know him, I feel like he'd actually be pretty cool on a personal level. He just seems like he's an asshole. And my last honorable mention for dudes that I think would actually be really fun would be Adam Scott. I think he's got like that Australian surfer vibe. he could start to get like into some really crazy shit, like about the waves and like riding this rip curl and down there with all the Kiwis. I think that would be a pretty good one as well. And he's just a good, like, I feel like just by hanging out with Adam Scott, you could definitely get some residual just by being around the dude. He's probably one of the best looking guys to ever play golf.
100%. All right, let's hop into the Champions Dinner menu for this year, served in honor of Mr. Rory McIlroy. So for those of you watching on YouTube, it's up there on the screen. For those of you listening to our podcast, we appreciate it. Give us a rating on whatever platform you're listening to. Appetizer for Rory's Masters Club dinner, peach and ricotta flatbread, gas, rock shrimp tempura, I would eat 1,000 of. Bacon wrapped dates with goat cheese. So many fucking buzzwords for me. I'd be all the way in. And then grilled elk sliders, also very much in. Garlic aioli, onion jam.
So many buzzwords for you, dude.
The buzzwords are off the charts on this appy list. First course, yellowfin tuna carpaccio with foie gras, toasted baguette, and chives.
Foie gras.
I actually thought I nailed that. I'm pretty bummed. Foie gras. And then the main course, the choice of Wagyu, filet mignon, or seared salmon, traditional Irish champ, sauteed Brussels sprouts.
I just Googled carrots. Irish champ. Do you think you can tell me what that is?
I would guess like some sort of potato dish.
Yeah, it's very like, it's just regular ass mashed potatoes, basically creamy mashed potatoes mixed with butter, milk, and scallions. That's like how I make mashed potatoes. So
okay, and then glazed carrots with brown butter, crispy Vidalia onion rings, and dessert sticky toffee pudding with vanilla ice cream and warm toffee sauce. Some wines in there. One of the funniest things about this whole menu is the fact that they asked Rory why it wasn't more Irish, and he said, "I'd like to enjoy the meal too." So he just shit on his entire country basically in one Phil's sentence.
Yeah, he didn't want to serve haggis or fucking black
corned
pudding.
Beef hash.
Oh, dude, corned beef is probably their
corned
best
beef
food.
Goes so hard. I made such a fire corned beef on St. Patty's Day that I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah, I think corned beef is universally one of those foods that needs to be made more often, but you just think about it around St. Patty's and you're like, why don't we do this like once a month? Have you ever tried black pudding before?
No.
Or blood, it's blood. I'm sorry, it's blood pudding. I don't think it actually looks black, but it's actual like cow's blood in pudding. And Jonathan, the guy I went to Scotland with, he made me try it at St. Andrews. And I was viciously hungover that morning as well. And I almost threw up in the restaurant. I took like 2 bites and I was like, holy shit, I cannot do this. It is a traditional.
Is it one of those
over there?
Is it one? Okay. You being violently hungover kind of makes this question not as legitimate, but do you think it's something that's gross because you know what it is, or it actually tasted bad? You know what I mean? Like Rocky Mountain oysters, people are like, oh my God, it's so disgusting. But if somebody gave them to you and said they were chicken tenders or something of that sort, and you just ate them, I don't think as many people would really hate Rocky Mountain oysters other than the fact that they know what the contents of the dish are.
Yeah, I mean, if you can see it here, it's not a super appetizing looking thing.
Oh, yeah. It looks kind of like an overcooked brownie in a muffin pan that didn't come out right.
It's almost got like a crimsonish red hue to it, and it just looks way too much like blood. Like I'm not a vampire. I'm good on that. I don't need to eat blood. So yeah, that was one of those where I was like, no, I'm absolutely out. Pick your favorite. Let's see your favorite on the menu. Pick one item.
Favorite. I'd have to go rock shrimp tempura. It's just my thing.
Okay. I would probably go yellowfin tuna carpaccio. That sounds absolutely fantastic. And I bet they got some really high level tuna in there, like some shit straight out of they pulled it straight out of the ocean, flew it live on a helicopter into Augusta for this meal. So, but I heard the wine kind of put a pretty big dent in Rory's pocket, which is not surprising. But realistically, if you won the Masters and you were serving wine, what would be like your budget? Because they have a ridiculous wine cellar.
Yeah. So if it was, I mean, are you talking overall like 30 guys? I told my wife this last night. because we've been drinking wine pretty often. And at night, I grilled up some fat, thick pork chops, some 2 inchers, and then we had wine with it. One bottle of wine is simply not enough for 2 of us. Maybe for one person, a bottle of wine is about perfect. So if you're thinking one bottle of wine per golfer, and let's say there's 30 dudes at this, I'd say, probably close to 20 grand, 25 grand.
I was kind of in the ballpark.
Not quite a $1,000 bottle per time, but up there.
Will you go back to that list one more time for me? Because I just want to make sure I'm looking up these wines. Okay, so the 1990 Chateau Lafite Rothschild de Bordeaux. That's somewhere in the like $1,500 per bottle mark. Actually, a 2019. Well, this, depending on where you are, it's anywhere from like $800 to like $4,800, depending on the year and shit like that. So, and you got to imagine, like you said, between 30 guys, they're probably going through 40, well, not 40 bottles, maybe 20 bottles total. So that's, yeah, you're probably looking at 20, 25 grand easily, if not more, like 30 to 40. So, yeah, looks like some good wine was had. Sticky toffee pudding. Have you had that?
I can't say for sure. I'm sure I have, but I can't be clear. Like, I don't remember having sticky toffee pudding.
Yeah, I think it's just like a caramel-y. It's kind of like tastes like caramel, which come to find out is just brown butter, basically. Isn't that just what caramel is, kind of?
I don't know. That's way above my knowledge.
Also, do you say caramel? Do you say caramel or caramel?
Caramel.
Okay, I'm not a psycho then. I think that people that say caramel are out in my book, and that's my girlfriend. So she can take that caramel and kick rocks. Okay, what do we got next?
Let's go to, I just got a couple quick things I wanted to share. We'll go into the dress next and some of the outfits that I put together. But this is one thing I saw that was kind of cool. Just some details. I love how it says all mowing is subject to weather conditions and growth. Like they're so serious about their numbers that they have to put that in the thing. So the details here, we've got the mowing lengths at Augusta National. The tees are 5/16 of an inch. The fairways are 3/8. The second cut is 1 3/8. The collars 1/4 of an inch. The greens surrounding 5/16 of an inch, and the greens are 1/8 of an inch. Obviously, it would be rolled a ton. One thing I think that is low key fun about Augusta, and not shitting on majors like the U.S. Open, but you don't need to defend this golf course with rough. You know, there's the pine straw and there is rough, but it's not necessarily super penal. I love using that word, but the rough is not super penal here. You just have to hit it in the right spots no matter what. So we don't have to see any videos of them dropping balls next to greens this week and it being, the ball disappearing and everybody being like, oh my God, are you seeing this?
Yes, for sure. I totally agree with you. Well, so where do we want to pull up these outfits now? I really wasn't listening to what you were saying. I was reading.
Thank you. Awesome. All right, we'll start out with this. This is from the practice rounds and Jason Day, the Birds of Georgia jacket. He wanted to wear the pants and they wouldn't allow him to. And then you're kind of hating on this Max Homa look. It's basically just baggy pants and a green, is that a Lululemon jacket? I don't know. I'd kind of rock that. I don't think, this whole baggy pants scenario, I did buy a pair of baggy jeans. They're not like bell bottom jeans by any means, like the cool kids are wearing. But I think when you're kind of chubby, like I am, like a little chunky, the baggy jeans don't do it for you. You got to be a fit person to wear baggy clothes, and Max Homa's fit. So I think what's your issue with that dress there?
I don't know. It just feels like he wasn't first to market on the baggy fit. Now he just looks like,
well, you don't have to be first to market to look good.
Yeah, I don't think he looks good though. I think he's kind of scrawny, and I think scrawny dudes in baggy clothes is not a good look either because it just falls down. Now, if I wore baggy pants, I would legit look like a propane tank. Like if everything was wide. I would just be straight down. I would be a rectangle. So I can't really pull that off. But he looks like he's getting drafted in the 2003 NBA draft with this baggy ass suit he's got going. And I just don't think that jacket's a great looking jacket. I think it looks like something our mom would wear to go play her 9 holes in the morning with her lady friends. It's just not my favorite.
Yeah, I feel you. And then we've got all of these other fits that I put together. So we've got Keegan Bradley's fit, Jason Day. Of course, we've seen some of the stuff on social media. Freddie Couples just going super old school. Michael Kim, and then Victor Hovland in the Jay Lindenborg. I love his fits. I'm a big fan of his Sunday pink and with the white pants. Going black pants all 3 other days. What is your thoughts on? Let's not be too helpful to the podcast listeners of this, because once again, all these graphics are up on our screen on our YouTube, where you can catch our show live twice a week and live on Sunday for the Masters down the stretch for sure. But what are your thoughts on Victor Hovland's third shirt, which is a mostly all black shirt, but it has a stripe with a pattern inside the stripe? I kind of fuck with that.
Yeah, I think Jay Lindbergh is very like cutting edge, and they're very European, which kind of fits Victor Hovland. A few of those shirts look a little Minecraft like blocky. But I actually think they're kind of cool. I think his Thursday outfit is going to be gas. I really like the combination of the pink, the green. Michael Kim having like no green in his outfits is kind of interesting. I feel like you got to dabble a little Augusta green in there. Freddie Couples with the classic, like if Malbon just made that kind of stuff that like Freddie Couples wears, I wouldn't hate it at all if it wasn't like $600 for a fucking cardigan. And then Jason Days, I don't necessarily hate either. The Birds 2 days in a row, I don't know if I'm necessarily fully on board with. And then Keegan Bradley's
It looks like Jason Days looks like, from this picture, granted, this is just kind of a sketch drawing from Malbon, but it looks like he took the day 1 outfit and just cut the sleeves off of it for day 2.
Yeah, like remember those jeans you had as a kid where you just zip off the legs if you got too hot? That looks like he's just zipping the lower sleeves off. But I do like a good short sleeve, like quarter zip for golf. I think that is a sweet spot for me.
I used to wear those all the time. That's a
Yeah.
super fat kid dress. That's a super fat kid piece of clothing, because I used to wear the cut off, quarter zip jackets where you want to be cooler ish, outside, depending upon how hot it is or whatever.
I'm trying to be cooler.
But you also don't want to wear a shirt that's like tight around your stomach and just showing that. That's a very chubby kid staple.
Was this after during your freshman year of college when you're a little thicker?
Yeah, it was like, there was a good period of my life, and I'm back into it where I put something on. I have my shout out Pins and Aces. I've got my Pins and Aces shirt on that I got a couple years ago, a bunch of pimento cheese sandwiches on it, but I did put on my Master shirt originally from Jim Weston that he brought back from the Masters and gave me, and it was a medium, and my stomach was saying no, that you cannot wear that. So
I'd be so out on a medium. I would fit that around one of my arms.
It fit me, and it was kind of hanging down on certain parts, but just couldn't bring myself to go out in public with it on.
I've thought about Jim Weston. I hope he's doing well. He's a great guy. Hope he's still around with us.
Let's get a little bit into. Were you going to go something else? I was going to go with.
I was just going to say that Keegan Bradley's clothing line looks like something you could get at Kohl's. That's I don't know.
It's like patterns inside the clothes and a little bit inside the
logo is just too bulky and terrible for me, in my opinion.
Okay, that's fair. Well, let's get into some of the featured groups. So these, you can watch the Masters on Prime. I haven't. We should maybe figure out, maybe Google that and let the people know how they can watch the Masters. I'm sure it'll be on ESPN Plus as well. Maybe we'll get some more info on that as Mitchell's looking that up. But wanted to pull up these featured groups here, and these are ones that you can watch every single shot of live. So we have the 10:07 tee time of Bryson DeChambeau, Matt Fitzpatrick, Xander Schauffele, elite pairing. Probably the three most picked guys in the golf tournament, right? Just in golf circles, if you will. And then the 10:31 of Rory McIlroy, Young and some Brian Howell. Who is it? Who is this Howell character?
I think Mason Howell, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's the U.S. Amateur champion.
Okay, so he gets Cam Young and Rory. What a first time at Augusta for this kid. The 108 pairing of John Rahm, Chris Gotterup, and Ludwig Aubert, another great one. And then the 144 pairing of Scottie Scheffler, Robert McIntyre, and Gary Woodland. All right, this may not be as hot of a take. Gun to your head question: is the winner on this sheet right now? Is the winner one of these 12?
I'm going to say no, just from a numbers aspect. I think there's a lot of good players. I've heard a lot of scuttlebutt about Xander Schauffele this week. A lot of people are thinking that the X-Man.
You're gonna hear more of that when our picks come up here in 2 minutes.
Okay. He is playing a little better. I still can't forgive him for what he did to me last year down the stretch. I bet on him a few times in the playoffs, and he just played like absolute dog's ass. But yeah, there's quite a few guys. I mean, those are fantastic groups. Bryson DeChambeau's obviously got a lot of buzz.
He's in those 12,
Yes, that's I'm complimenting 12 of these guys.
Gotcha.
Chris Gotterup is a guy that he first time at the Masters. He's gotten a lot of buzz as well. He's playing phenomenally. He's got 2 wins already this year. But there's something to be said for experience at Augusta, in my opinion. And like a guy like Justin Rose, this is his 21st Masters. And talk about the perfect, like for being his age and being as old as he is, talk about the perfect combination of physical ability and also the knowledge and the wherewithal and the wisdom of being in your 40s. I just said that so eloquently. I'm going to give myself a little pat on the back. I feel like Justin Rose is in that perfect sweet spot where he could he's got 2 runner-ups. He's played phenomenally here, and his physical game has never been better. Like he's hitting it longer than he ever has. He's aging like fine wine. He's just, I don't know what's in the water he's drinking, but I need some of it because he's absolutely a guy that we could see.
He's an almost guaranteed to shoot 65 or lower on Thursday. The first round leader of Justin Rose, I feel like every Masters that I can recall is that guy at the top. And last year he was there on Sunday afternoon too.
Do you know what? I got to give a shout out to our boy Dougie Ravella. This is just came to the top of mind talking about first round leaders. Mav McNeely loves to grab a first round lead. He always loves to play well on Thursday, always loves to play like shit on the weekend. But that could be a little sprinkle. I would love to see the odds on a Mav McNeely first round leader.
He'll be a guy that we get really excited about at some point because he's part of our syndicate, and then we'll completely fall apart come Friday night or maybe Saturday or even maybe Sunday. I feel like we'll get too hyped up. He's the player that we'll get too hyped up on early, and then it will end up bad for us. I can tell you that.
That'd be a verbal meme of me in the casket and Mav McNeely carrying it so then he can let me down just one more time. Because I do not think he has a legitimate shot. He just hasn't been able to close consistently enough to win a major, in my opinion. Could be wrong, but I just want to talk real quick about this golf course because apparently this year it's going to be very firm. They haven't gotten any rain in the last couple of weeks, so it's going to be very firm and very fast. And in your opinion, who do you feel like that gives the advantage to? A strong iron player, a shorter guy, a longer guy, a guy that's good around the greens? I mean, Augusta truly is one of those courses where you can't really fake it around. You have to do everything pretty well. But what do you feel like is going to stand out from a guy this week that's really going to put him over the top?
Well, I think if it's really firm and fast, I think it gives a little bit of an edge to the shorter, more accurate players with a good putter. Because if it's firm and fast, there's going to be a lot of spots where, yeah, you can bomb at 340, but there's holes, like I believe 6 is one of those holes where you're almost better off being back further, right? But there's going to be, if it's firm and fast and the wind's blowing in the right direction, the bigger hitters will maybe go out of their game plan a little bit and try to hit that green. And then it will happen for some of them. But then when you try not to, or you try to, and you miss the green just by a little bit, a lot of shots at Augusta, it's harder to get up and down from 40 yards than it is from 80 to 100 to 125. So I think firm and fast can be a disservice, if you will, to some of the longer players that think they can. Now, it makes the par fives even easier. And I say that in quotations because they can get there with 8 iron, 7 iron, whatever. But at the same time, the shorter guys will have a wheelhouse wedge, even in, hitting their driver 10 to 15 yards further than they normally do versus having longer irons into some of the greens. And really, you have to putt well to win at Augusta. So that's something that all tour players can do, right? Like with distance, some guys can hit it 340. Not everybody can, right? But with putting, everybody can putt well. Now, there's guys that have numbers that say they can or can't or won't, but in theory, everybody can putt to the same level on the PGA Tour, but not everybody can hit the ball to the same level on the PGA Tour. So that's where this tournament kind of evens the field out. And I think you may get a couple of shorter hitters that end up higher on the leaderboard than you think, because if it's firm and fast, they're getting run out on their accurate shots in the fairway versus the guys that hit it longer and are maybe hitting it in the trees.
For sure. And I do think it being firm and fast maybe gives a little bit more of advantage to a high ball hitter. I talked at length about Ludwig Aubert, about
I was
how
going to
high
say Ludwig.
I mean, John Rahm, any guy, Rory, guys that create a lot of speed. Matt Fitzpatrick hits it really low. He's one of the favorites. Not one of the betting. Well, I guess one of the betting favorites, but not one of the tops on the card. Like I think he's plus 24, 2,500, somewhere in that ballpark. But a little nugget, he is 140th or in that ballpark in 3-putt avoidance. And that is something at Augusta where you're going to have some 60, 70 footers that you need to get down in 2. And if you can't do that, your week's going to go sideways on you. You got to steady the ship with those long putts, get the pace going right. So that's kind of an interesting nugget. But some of these, I feel like there's a handful of dudes out there that if they just drive it, like look at what Cam Young did at Sawgrass. Just drove it so fucking good that you can. And Cam Young is kind of that perfect right now. His putter's really hot and he's driving it really well. If you have that many opportunities in the middle of the fairway, you don't have to be really good with your irons. But Augusta is 100% that spot where when it gets firm and fast on those greens, you have to hit it in the right quadrants to give yourself opportunities. So the wedges have to be dialed in. The irons and around the green, it's really going to separate the men from the boys. Like if you got to be able to get up and down from inside of a fucking paper bag, because that's the lies are going to be tight. You're going to have to go up in elevation across ridges. It's just it's a bloodbath, dude. But that's what makes it so fun. It is one of the most cerebral tournaments they play all year. It feels like, where there's so much strategy and so much mapping that these dudes play it every single year and they still haven't figured it out. And that's like the true testament of being such a good golf course, is you can play it for 2 decades and still be like, I don't know what to do on this hole. It's just fucking brutal.
Yeah, well, there's just with the green contours and how big the greens are and the setup. One day you could eagle 15, let's say the par 5, after you hit an incredible golf shot off the tee and then hit one close. But that position where you hit that tee ball, if they move the flag to a certain area, may completely hose you the next time you play it. So that's where the greens just get you, the flag positions get you. They have a lot of areas where, 2 is a perfect example, the par 5, where when it's in the back left, you want to be in a certain spot in the fairway and not necessarily run it all the way down. That doesn't help you a ton, right? So there's a lot of things they can do with the pin positions, and obviously the greens just being hard and huge and fast make it tough for like a Matt Fitzpatrick that tends to 3-putt, and you can't afford to 3-putt a ton on, especially at this week, because there's a lot of birdies to be made. Real quick before we get into our picks, I just want you to give me let's just take a guess and we can reconvene on this on Sunday at our live show. What's the winning score this week?
Ooh, I'm vacillating between 11 and 14 under. I'm going to go 11 under. I think the firmness on the weekend, if it gets warmer, is going to make it tough. I'm going to back out of that and say 14 under. I'm taking 14 under.
Okay, I had 13 in my mind. So
okay. Yeah, the typical winning score is around 12. in that ballpark. But I guess I could see the firmness helping some of these guys get to par fives that they don't normally get to. And then with this wind direction, if 11 is by far one of the top 3 hardest holes on this golf course. It's like a 500 plus yard par 4. But if the fairways are firm and it's straight downhill and a little downwind, these guys could turn into a birdie hole. And that's normally a hole that plays well over par. So if the wind is going in the right direction, this place is firm, you could see a guy like Ludwig Aubert hitting a fucking pitching wedge into a 520 yard par 4, excuse me. So it could really flip. And if guys are hitting wedges into 12, that could be another huge flip as well. So I do think they could go possibly a little bit lower. And it just feels like this year, every tournament's gone a little lower than we've expected it to go, you know?
Yeah, especially like last week at Valero kind of went way lower than it did the year before. Granted, not quite the weather, but
I mean, the weather was dog shit on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah. We've seen that trend a little bit. All right. Let's hop into our Big Bet Energy Masters picks for this week. Looking for a winner, looking just anywhere where we can find it. I will start with my picks. I'm going to go with Xander Schauffele to win it. I love a lot of live guys this week. I just don't know if I can pick them to win it. You know what I mean? Like that's where I kind of waver on, can they win this tournament? Just like a lot of the guys we talked about earlier, on our list, on our syndicate and our picks. Like I don't feel like a lot of those guys, I'm confident in them winning it and walking down Sunday on 18 up to the green and being, your vision that you always have. I don't see a lot of guys that can do that from the Live Tour, but I definitely believe they can get in the top 5 or 10. I'm going to take Patrick Reed plus 550 to top 5. Played some unbelievable golf all year on the DP World Tour this year, a little bit on the Live Tour, of course, and has won here before, just knows how to get it around at Augusta. And then the Mitchell Smith of the PGA Tour, Chris Gotterup, teeing it up at Augusta for the first time. Once again, not a guy I'm confident that could win this event, but his game fits this place. I think he can get it around here. He's plus 333 to top 10. And in the one and done, I'm using a couple of live bullets here. I'm going to go Bryson DeChambeau and Patrick Reed. I'm also sprinkling all of these guys to win it. And ironically, when I was putting my bets in, so you always text me your picks. I get my own picks and then I put them in the Bet365 app. And I made a $1 parlay on accident of Jon Rahm winning. So I'm saying this, so if it happens, verbal's binding. Jon Rahm winning your pick, and then Patrick Reed top 5ing and Chris Gotterup top 10ing all together, which was like, I think it's $1 to win 560, something like that. So
holy shit. That would be an all-time. Talk about kicking yourself for not throwing $5 more on it.
Yeah, let me double check that.
Yeah, probably not the highest of odds of hitting. But that's the fantastic part is you never know until
because they're on our betting card. That's the unfortunate thing.
Yeah, no shit.
All these guys will be in the top 10 come Sunday and then all fall out of it.
Yep. So I got Jon Rahm this week. I do feel like he's just in really, really good form. He loves this place. He's won here before. It really feels like he could win another green jacket. He's not finished outside the top 5 on Live. Now, granted, the courses are much easier that they play on the Live Tour, I think, relative to what, they're not playing Riviera. They're not playing TPC Sawgrass. They're not playing these really tough PGA Tour courses. But I still think Rahm, man in the arena, has got the game. I think it's Jon Rahm, it's Scottie Scheffler, and it's probably Xander Schauffele and Bryson DeChambeau. Those 4 guys are like top. If you told me they won tomorrow, I would not be surprised whatsoever. Corey Connors is kind of a sneaky dude. I'm kind of surprised he's only plus 425 to top 10. He's played well at Augusta before, but just a dude that is a consistent drawer of the ball. I don't think he's ever seen a fade once in his life. He doesn't hit it very high, which is somewhat of a concern. He kind of hits that flighted draw, but he's just so in control of his golf ball at all times. And then I'm just going with a fun bet that I would love to see happen. I want to see a hole-in-one on 16. It's plus 132, which I thought was outrageous because I looked this morning, could have sworn I saw like plus 450 to 650, somewhere in that ballpark. But that might be getting bet heavily. I don't know if I just looked at the wrong line or it's gotten bet down heavily. And then my one and done, I'm going John Rahm and Cam Young. We get 2 picks in our one and done this week that we're in. So I just feel like Cam Young's another one of those dudes that could just drive it phenomenally, make everything he looks at. And he is a North Carolina college kid, Wake Forest guy. So kind of knows that southern area. He's probably played a lot of that southern type of golf that you would like to see out of these guys. So dude, it's going to be so electric. I'm just buzzing right now.
Yeah, I can't wait for this to start tomorrow. We appreciate you guys all tuning in to Big Drive Energy, enjoying us live on Sunday. We'll probably hit the go live button right around the leaders. Teeing off on 16 is usually the sweet spot. Last year we got a playoff, which was electric. Maybe we'll get a playoff again. Maybe we'll get another massive 4 or 5 shot comeback on Sunday. First round leaders, all the good stuff. Make sure you're tuning into the Masters. It is truly, even if you don't like golf, I don't know why you'd be listening to this podcast, maybe for our shitty sports takes outside of golf, but tune in this weekend. It is well worth your time. Just incredible golf course, incredible golf to be played. Make sure you're following us on all the social medias at Big Drive Energy Golf on Instagram, Big Drive Energy on TikTok, Twitter, all of that other good stuff. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Enjoy the greatest tournament in the world, the 2026 Masters. Go X-Man, go Live players, go Bryson DeChambeau, John Rahm. Do you think real quick, one last question. Do you think a live player winning this tournament changes the view of them going to 72 holes and their changes?
It could, yeah, absolutely.
Gives them a little more credibility, if you will.
A little more legitimacy. Yeah, I would think so. Last question for you. Give me one out of nowhere, out of left field, not necessarily winner, but guy that's in contention.
Oh, Akshay Bhatia. I forgot to mention, I have a $50 bonus bet on Akshay Bhatia to win this that I used a couple weeks ago. So Akshay with the ball movement fits this golf course.
Okay.
And with the broomstick, maybe he's dialed in the putting.
I'm going to go Jacob Bridgman. I think he's got a legitimate shot to win here. It's he putts it better than anyone in the world.
I love that. Well, everybody enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the Masters. Enjoy spring being here. We will talk to you on Sunday afternoon. Peace.